Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? Uh, I did a video last night on the on uh, on Mr. Burrell's case and Amy Klobuchar stepping down from her presidential bid. Uh, Myon Burrell, he was convicted in 2002 of murdering or allegedly murdering, or he was convicted, charged with the murder Tyson or not Tyson, Tyesha Edwards murder in 2002, and he basically he's been locked up ever since, 17 years now. And when he went in, he was only 16 years old. Now, like I said, I did a video last night, but I had to basically do a little more digging, and I said in a video that I was gonna come up with the name of the person, the actual gunman, the actual person who pulled the trigger and killed Tyesha Edwards, and at the time she was 11 years old herself. So okay, now the name of the person who confessed to killing Tyesha Edwards, his name is Ike Tyson. He confessed several times to being the actual trigger man, and but the prosecutor and the investigators basically didn't take him serious. So they went on and just charged, like I said, Myon Burrell for Tyesha's murder. And like I said, Ike Tyson said that he had to confess because he felt bad. He felt really bad that he killed young Tyesha, and like she was 11 at the time. And he also felt bad because a young guy, Mr. Burrell himself, he was young, 16, like I said, basically was serving time for a crime that he did not commit. And he was falsely accused. So he felt bad for taking a young life and also destroying another young life. And also, I have yet to get the name of the teen who basically was the state's main witness in convicting Mr. Burrell. I found out that he was a teen rival, and he gave, I guess, his testimony or accused Burrell of being the actual gunman at the time. And I found out that his stories, the teen rival, his story changed countless times. There was a lot of inconsistencies in his story, but still, Mr. Burrell was still convicted. And also last night I stated that Ike Turner, I stated that he died, but the person who died was the teen rival. He was the one that I say convicted, or the state used him as the main witness to convict Mr. Burrell, but the teen rival, and I have yet to get his name, he's the one who actually died, not Ike Tyson, the actual gunman. Now I don't know if he's alive now, but I watched an interview where he confessed. You can look it up on YouTube, where Ike Tyson himself confessed to killing Tyesha, and he said he felt bad for that. But I guess he's still alive. But the teen rival, he's the one who died, not Ike Tyson. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes now. Also, I got the name of the actual investigative reporter. Her name is Robin McDowell. She's the investigative reporter of the Associated Press. She's a Pulitzer Prize winner as well, and she's investigated this case for over a year, and she have uncovered a lot of inconsistencies in the actual case. She looked at the actual court transcripts and the investigative, and also the police report as well. and she saw there were so many inconsistencies in with the investigator, the police department's investigation, as well as the prosecution investigation of Mr. Burrell, and his constitutional rights was violated. They still charged him, even though he had an alibi. He was still convicted. Even though, like I said, Ike Tyson confessed, Mr. Burrell was still convicted. Even though the teen arrival's testimony or account, or even though his stories changed persistently or continuously, Mr. Burrell was still convicted. And so that's what Miss Robin McDowell, she uncovered so many inconsistencies, the flaws in this story. Like I said, like I said last night, there was no DNA to convict Mr. Burrell, no fingerprints, and no murder weapon or gun. But Mr. Burrell was still convicted. Also, I've stated last night that Mr. Burrell, had an alibi. Also, he told the cops or the investigators that he told them exactly his whereabouts at the time, and he mentioned the surveillance videos from the convenience store. But I also heard he was also at the cup food store. So I'm trying to figure out, what was it, a convenience store or was it a cup food store? So I'm trying to figure that out right now, because I've heard an account that there's surveillance from the cup foods, but also heard from others that he was at a convenience store, and there's surveillance that Mr. Burrell himself said that the investigators should pull or go get from the convenience store's owner, and that lead was never followed up. They didn't take him serious. They did not go get the footage that would have exonerated that man, or basically corroborated his testimony, or supported his alibi. So that was not followed up. Also, I stated last night that the interrogation video of that the investigators, the interrogation videos of these so-called witnesses, basically I said last night, I stated that video, those videos themselves were basically were being recorded. The investigators were being recorded and they were unaware that they were being recorded. But I got that wrong. They were aware of that the tape was running and that they were being recorded. The thing is that they sat on that testimony. They sat on that piece of evidence, because in the video they were basically offering the witnesses, so-called witnesses, money for their comments or for their testimony or whatnot. And a lot of that was hearsay. If you look at you could pull up the actual video and see that the officers were offering them money just for their stories, and kind of like coaching them on, and a lot of that was hearsay. Oh, such and such was over here. Who said this? Oh, that person. Okay, blah blah blah. The same as the teen arrival. Now I gotta find out who he is. I gotta get his name. But if you look at the actual footage from the interrogation, you will see that the officers, the investigative officers or detectives, were basically offering these so-called witnesses money just for their testimony, so they could convict Mr. Burrell. But again, that video just surfaced. So they were aware, the cops, they were aware that they were being recorded, and that the whole session or investigative interrogation session was being recorded, because that is what they do. So I kind of messed up on that when I say that the cops themselves were unaware, because they were aware. It's just that they sat on this piece of evidence or information, because it was dirty. How they did it was wrong. You offering people money just to say certain things. Oh yeah, so blah blah blah. He said this. Oh, who said that? Oh, such and such John over here. Okay, yeah. So John did say that, right? Okay, yeah. How do you know John? Yeah, okay, yeah. This bullshit. If you say this, then hey, look. If you look at the actual interrogation footage, there's one of the investigating officers. He said, yeah, I've already pulled, or I was sanctioned to pull $1,000, but I need some information. And you could possibly get anywhere from $300 to $500 for your testimony to one of these so-called witnesses. So it's a sham. It was bullshit. So that actual video just came out. All right. So also when Mr. Burrell, at the time when he was arrested, he was 16 years old. He was a minor. And I just learned that while he was being interrogated by the detectives, he asked the detectives several times. He asked me, can he see his mama? Can his mother be present while he's being interrogated? And he was denied several times to have his mother present or counsel present. So that in itself is a violation. Also, I spoke last night about the case was overturned the first time because he was convicted he was convicted twice. So after he was convicted the first time, the Minnesota State Supreme Court overturned the previous or first conviction because due to the flaws in this case. And like I say, he was convicted based on no evidence, no DNA, no gun, and inconsistencies in the so-called witnesses' testimony. Also, the persistent changing of the main witness testimony or story, the teen rival. His stories were inconsistent. He kept changing. So basically, Mr. Burrell's previous conviction was overturned by, like I say, the Minnesota State Supreme Court. And on those grounds, according to Ms. Robin McDowell, the investigative reporter of the Associated Press, she stated, at that point, Mr. Burrell himself should have been exonerated, let go. But Amy Klobuchar herself recharged him. She recharged Mr. Burrell, and he was given a second trial. And like I stated last night, the first trial was a jury. He was convicted by a jury of his peers, and I wonder how many black people were on that jury. He was convicted by a jury trial the first time around, and so the second time around, I guess Mr. Burrell and his counsel, agreed that they would have a bench trial, which is where the judge has sole control of the rendering the verdict, guilty or innocent verdict. So he was convicted again in the second trial. So the judge basically upheld the previous conviction. And so Miss Robin McDowell, she said that itself, she believed herself that Mr. Burrell never should have been retried again. Also, let me see a piece of information. So, and I found out that the current district attorney, Mr. Mark Freeman, he has doubled down, and he's not relenting. He's not. He said that he supports the conviction. He said that Mr. Burrell himself was convicted twice, and so as far as he's concerned, justice was served. He was convicted by a jury of his peers in the first trial, and he was convicted by a judge in the second trial. So as far as he's concerned, he's not going to, he don't think that the case deserves any more attention, because in his mind, justice was served. And he believes if he has to reopen or review the case, then new evidence have to come forth. But the evidence is, there's no evidence. There's no evidence to convict that young man. And everything that's, if you just look at the entire case, there's just flaws. And it just basically, meaning this this young man, Mr. Burrell, has been there since he was 16. He's 33, 34 now. It means he should be exonerated. He should be let go so he can live his life with his family, because he was convicted with no evidence. So how do you mean, Mr. Mark Freeman, how can you say that in order for you to review this case, there has to be new evidence? There's no evidence, period, to point the fingers at this young brother, at this young man. He's not the perpetrator. He's not the actual gunman, the trigger man. Mr. Ike Tyson confessed several times, but you guys will not believe him. He confessed. He said, like I said, Mr. Ike Tyson himself, he said that he feels sorry. He feels remorse for killing Tyesha Edwards, and he feels remorse for Mr. Burrell, Myon Burrell, because Mr. Myon Burrell is sitting in jail or prison right now for something he did not do. So Mr. Mark Freeman, this case needs to be reviewed, and this brother should be given a new trial, or not even a new trial. He should be let go. Okay? We need justice for Mr. Burrell, as well for Tyesha. We need justice for Burrell's family as well as Tyesha's family. Miss Edwards' family. Tyesha Edwards' family. Also, something else I wanted to say, but it slipped my mind. Also, I saw this interview that Leslie Davis, Ratman did, and I know this sister too. She's a cool sister. She is the president of the NAACP Minneapolis branch. She also has said that Amy Klobuchar, being a powerful woman here in Minnesota, she is the current Minnesota U.S. Senate. She is the senator that represents Minnesota U.S. Senator. That she has the power to reopen this case, to allow this case to get a review, to be sanctioned for a review. And she herself, Miss Amy Klobuchar, is making it seem like she don't have the pull to sanction a review of this case, like it's in the hands of the district attorney. So there are many people, I believe, that were complicit in this case, and it has a lot. It just flooded with. Yeah. To say that this case is filled with political malfeasance would be an understatement. To say that this case is filled with corruption is an understatement. It's a travesty of justice. It's a miscarriage of justice. This brother was convicted for a crime he did not commit, and it's a shame that he's not allowed to receive justice. Not only him, but his family as well, and Tyesha Edwards' family. This needs to be put to rest, and those complicit have to be held accountable, and they should be sued. Amy Klobuchar, the investigators that were coercing people, or even trying to influence people's testimony, they should be held accountable. The prosecution officer should be held accountable, and they all should be investigated. Amy Klobuchar had to, she stepped down Monday, so she's no longer pursuing her presidential aspirations. I believe that she should also be forced from the Senate. She should lose her seat, and she shouldn't be allowed to have a future in politics. So there's something I want to say, something I was thinking about, but it slipped my mind. I'm about to end this video here, but I'm trying to figure out what it is I wanted to say to you guys. And it's about Amy Klobuchar. She I'm about to do this third video. I really don't want to do a third video. Yeah, I said the gun and the video footage, blah, 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 blah. So, I think that's it. Okay, so I think that's it. So I just hope that this brother gets justice, just much needed justice, and those that are complicit in this cover up and this travesty of justice, I just hope that they're held accountable and they have to pay, and they need to sue them. Also, yeah, this is what I'm gonna say. Now, also, when Mr. Burrell himself, when he was 16 years old, his mother died while he was in prison. I found out that Mr. Burrell's mother went to visit him while he was incarcerated, and on her way back home, or leaving the facility, she died in a car accident. And Amy Klobuchar refused to allow him to go see his mother, to attend the funeral. Here it is. He's a kid. He's a minor. And he said it was very devastating. That was devastating to him because his mother was his pillar of support. And when he lost his mom, and then he was denied the chance to go and see his mother, for the last time and say bye, he said that really broke him down. It really just it just created this humongous gigantuan dark cloud over his head. And it's like, I don't understand why she would deny him to go see his mom. I mean, come on. It's not like they was going to just let him, give him like some furlough to go see his mom, without, 20 guards. There would have been guards, believe me. He would have been shackled, cuffed or whatnot, with 20 armed guards. You telling me they couldn't allow this kid at the time to go see his mama? Come on, man. And he could have definitely cleared the funeral home out and allow him to go in there by himself to see his mother. You understand what I'm saying? It's BS. So I don't understand that. Because he's a threat to society. That's how she put it. She deemed he was a threat to society. So, there was going to be like some kind of like jailbreak, like someone was going to rescue him. I don't know. They could have figured out some way to allow him to go see his mother. They could have did it some kind of way, whereas it could have been some kind of private thing, unplanned, basically something, some type of unpublicized visitation or whatnot. It's just bullshit. Again, like I say, I on last night's video, I stated Mr. Burrell's prison ID. It's 211839. 211839. 211839. If you guys want to drop him a letter of support, a letter of encouragement, send him something, some money, put some money on his books. That would be very nice of you if you're able to do that, or just write him a letter offering him some support. So that's all I wanted to say about this case, and I will end this video. And God bless. Peace.